Contract's been extended now to 2014. It's located, as you can see, right in beautiful Yonkers, right on the border on the New York State Thruway. It's that big building, like John said, right across from Stu Leonard's, the big gray building. I have, like John said, now it's close to 20 years experience. And I've been on both sides, on the municipal side and also been on the private business side. What I'm going to try to do is just give you a general overview of the way the plant works, because what I find talking to people, everybody wants to recycle. They want to recycle, and they want to recycle everything. And the truth is, probably everything in this room, scientifically or physically, can be recycled. But the question is, it has to be economically viable. If it's not economically viable, it's not going to be, the full circle is not going to be done. I mean, basically, we still live in a capitalist free market society, so somebody has to be able to have a revenue stream produce money from the sales of the recyclables. So there has to be a market for this. And again, I just want to show how the MRF works quickly, and then you might have a better understanding of what products actually come out of a MRF and what can be sold and what works and what doesn't work. Okay. I just came up with the recycling totals. These are totals for last year. We did about 80,000 tons last year. 54,000 of that would have been pulp material, your paper, cardboard, magazines, junk mail, and about 26,000 of it would be the commingled material, which would be your plastic, glass, bottles, tin, aluminum. And we average about 320 tons a day, and that's significantly up in 2008 over prior years, because of the enforcement that Westchester County has done and the education that they've done over the last year and a half. Okay, I'm just going to show you the process quickly. Tipping floor. Basically, the material is collected, commingled pulp is collected separately, that's called dual stream, and they're dumped on two areas of the tipping floor. One side, I don't know if you can see that well, would be your commingled side. The other side of the floor, separated by a wall, would be your pulp side. I'll start with the commingled processing first. And again, just to get an idea, basically the material comes off the tipping floor. It first comes up by a conveyor. The first place it goes through, and it's very hard to see, it's a little glass house there. We call that the tipping floor rejects. That's when the oversized plastics, things that are not recyclable, are pulled out. The next stop it goes through is a magnet belt here that constantly goes over the material. The magnet belt will pick up your ferrous material on one side and drops it down the chute to a dedicated ferrous bale. The next thing is the shaker, which basically does what it says. This whole blue unit right here shakes back and forth. That'll shake out all your broken glass or anything under 2 inches in diameter. Your next thing is your air classifier. This is large, almost looks like a blow dry coming through here. And what that does, and it's hard to see here too, what that does is put a jet stream of air over the material. Now light material gets blown onto one belt and the heavy material drops onto another belt. It's a very simple operation. Now the material goes to the sorting line. Here's your commingled material. Now your glass, being your heavy material, that's always been separated and went to a separate line. Materials then proceeds to sorting where the line is positively sorted. What I mean by positively sorted is we take out the material we want. This MRF puts out a high quality material because it is positively sorted. That means there's a person, again it's hard to see, for each material, and that first person picks out HDP natural, which would be your milk containers. He picks that out, he throws it into the chute. The next person picks HDP color, which would be your laundry detergent bottles. He picks it out, throws it into the chute. Then PET, aluminum cans, aluminum foil. We have a person for each thing. There's actually a sorting station on each line and shoots in the center. The first material, actually, like I said before, goes off the magnet belt straight down to the chute, and that gets baled continuously all day. The sorted material, again, it's hard to see here. Sorted material that the sorter actually picked up and threw down the chute goes into these large storage hoppers. When the storage hopper is full with enough material to make a bale, that drops onto a belt underneath the end, proceeds to a commingled baler, which is here, which you can see right here, comes out, and simply it's a baled material. The bales weigh roughly about a ton. Baled materials loaded onto trailers and shipped, both domestic as aluminum cans, aluminum foil. That's the HDP color, that's your HDP natural, and that's just a trailer full of PET, an export trailer full of PET. Materials shipped to both domestic and export markets, which using both these markets is a necessity, and it actually came in good the end of last year when I don't know if people are aware of it, or most people are aware of it, the recycling markets crashed, just like our regular financial markets crashed. The material lost over 75% on an average, over 75% of its value. Right now it's worth 25% of what it was worth. In a matter of 1 month, the month of October, everything dropped. Orders were canceled. Overseas, ships halfway across the ocean were sent back with material. So the market really crashed. So being able to have a domestic market and the export market, because the export market was driving those high prices. And the ironic thing was, before the market crashed, that was the highest prices ever that I've ever seen since 1992 for recycled material. So it's pretty ironic. It went from the highest prices to the lowest prices. So having those both markets actually worked out. Now I'm going to just go through the pulp processing line, which is your paper processing line. Again, hard to see, but that's your tipping floor, gets pushed to in-feed conveyor. Actually just goes to a sorting line from that in-feed conveyor. Now pulp material is negatively sorted, meaning they pull out the cardboard, they pull out the garbage, and what goes off the end of the belt to a dedicated baler is your clean, roughly clean newspaper. Again, paper goes directly to the paper baler. This is the photograph baler. That's the paper coming off right now. Again, material basically same size bales, a ton weight. The OCC, which is your old corrugated containers or your cardboard, is kept in these storage hoppers with live floors on the floors, move back and forth, and they go on almost the same as the commingle. They go onto a belt to a dedicated cardboard bale. And any garbage and contaminants also go out through and have to get baled to be removed from the building. Next one. Okay, the marketing plan. Material ready to be shipped to the end markets. Again, here's your cardboard, here's your PET, there's more PET. Here's your mixed color. We didn't talk about glass. Glass actually goes out as a mix of all the different colored glasses. Now, there's really no market for the flint glass, the green glass, and practically that's another thing that people say, why don't you separate this and that? Think about when you pick up glass, glass gets picked up in garbage trucks, it gets crushed. It gets taken to the tipping floor of the transfer station, open up, done. It breaks. It gets onto the conveyor belt, it breaks again. By the time it actually got to the sorting belt, you were picking little pieces of glass. So here's what I meant by, if you never saw how this kind of plant worked, you'd say, well, how come we don't separate flint glass and green glass? First of all, there's no market in this country for green glass. So we put it all together and we sell it. It's being used as an aggregate, it's being turned into sand, it's being used as a landfill base, which is probably your best solution for it. Now, a marketing plan. Westchester County MRF is a dual stream MRF. That means we process commingled, we process pulp separately, which actually worked in our favor. People, you hear a lot of people talking about single stream. In my opinion, single stream right now, you'd be hard pressed to move material from a single stream MRF. Now, large companies will be able to do that because they have large volumes. Westchester County has one MRF. We sell material to the same end users that the larger companies sell to. We sell at the same price, if not higher on some occasions, than the Waste Managements, the Allieds, the Republics, the FCRs, because we have high quality. Like I said before, we positively sort the material. So we might miss some material, but basically if somebody's going to pick up that soda bottle, it's going to go in that chute. He's not going to walk 30 feet down and throw it into the wrong chute. So our material is high quality. And plus we get those large balers that we use, we get good quality, good quantity of weight too, so we can sell export. We can get the certain weights needed to sell export containers.